So this is a Sprite Major 4SB. Going to take you around the van and show you it's all working and the way it should be. So on each corner you've got your wind down legs, as you can see. So you've got a wind down leg here, wind down leg on the opposite side in the same place, and two wind down legs on the back of the van. Also on this side you can see a 240 volt socket, motor mover, which you'll see demonstrated at the end of the video. You've then got your storage cabinets for underneath each of the underneath the bed at the rear of the van. Coming around to the rear, you've got your wind down legs on either side, as you can see. I haven't put them down at the moment for the purpose at the moment, but I'll stop the video in a moment. Put them down once I've been around the outside. At the back of the van here, you've got your toilet flush tank. So you'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid, and that'll give it a nice fragranced flush. And at the bottom, this van hasn't been cleaned yet, so I do apologise if any marks, etc. At the bottom here, you've got your toilet waste tank. So in here, you'll turn this neck round here to empty the waste out of it. You'll put 1 litre of water in and a cap full of the blue fluid to break down any waste that's in there. You don't put any thick toilet rolls down, so unfortunately it's got to be the cheaper or the Thetford style toilet rolls. You've got a pull handle here, so the wife's got no excuse not to do the toilet system. Pull the handle up and pull it out, a bit like you do on your holiday suitcases, for instance. You've got on top here, you've got pressure relief as well, so when you're tipping the waste away, the waste doesn't spit and splatter back at you. But like I said, you fill it through here, and you also empty the waste out through this neck just here. Down the side, you've got your grey waste pipes, so you'll have your 2 grey waste pipes going into it, down into your waste master itself. The wheel nuts before you receive the caravan will be torqued, so you can see they've been tight, so when you receive the van they've been tightened correctly. We do advise just checking them before a run out with the van, just so you know they are tight. On this particular van, I believe it's 120 Newton meters, but I'll just check on the plate on the other side of the van. You've then got your fridge vents on this side for when you're running the fridge on gas. You've also then got your mains power lead coming into the side of the van, connected to the power on the site, and your 110 amp battery in the side also. This battery is just on here for demonstration purposes. If you bought super starter pack, then that'll obviously be fitted properly before delivery of the caravan. Then got your water pump connection. So you've got your connection on top here. You pull it out, or push it into the side of the van. Just need to pull the blue trigger back before releasing it, and that drops down into your ACK roll itself. Then got your gas flue for the heating and hot water system, and down the bottom there you've got your other wind down leg. Front of the van, you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. I'm actually going to do a separate video on that completely, and I'll send you over a generic video for hooking up on the car. Quite hard to demonstrate without a carbon in front of it, so I'm going to do a generic video that will be used for multiple customers, but I'll demonstrate that in another video for you. Would advise you buy yourself either an adjustable spanner or a gas bottle spanner for releasing the gas bottle if you ever need to. In the front there you can see your leg winder and wheel brace also. You've got your gas pipe coming across from your regulator to the top of your gas bottle. So on a gas bottle you've got on and off on top, so you turn it off by turning it clockwise and turn it on by turning it anti-clockwise. So now the gas is turned on, I'm actually going to go inside the van and show you the gas system's working on board. So coming inside the van, you'll hear the radios crackling at the moment. I haven't got the aerial up on the van, so it's not fully tuned in at the moment, but I'll just tune it in so you can hear it's all working. So radio's up in the cupboard, power off in the centre, then works very similar to a normal radio. I'm just going to turn that down for the purpose of doing the video. So with your power connect on the outside, what you can do is you can come up to the control panel above the door. You can turn on your main power just here, so power off and power on. Dimming lights, when it says dimming level at the bottom here, you can adjust by pressing the arrow in the centre, and that'll actually control, when I turn them on, might help, will actually control the brightness of the lights above the cabinets at the front. So you've got one on either side, one up there as well, and one on this side here. You also got your other lights inside the van, your roof lights, etc. on this control here. And as you'll see as you go around the van, there is individual switches on each light in the van as well, the same as the lights underneath here. lighting for underneath the cabinets on, just there, as you can see. So now you'll be able to see the lights on the other side of the van are turned on as well for above the cabinets, and they're on the switches just as you come in the door on the right hand side. I'll come back to the cooker and everything in a moment. Just want to show you all the lighting systems working on board the van. Lights above there on, as you can see. You've got your light there for above the cabinets, above the bed, which is again on the button just here. Then in the bathroom, you've got your lighting, as you can see, all on in there also. So now we've been through the lighting and you can see that is all working. Next I'm just going to show you the cooker etc working on gas. I'm just going to put down the camera for a moment and try and point it towards the hob so you can see all that igniting. Back ring lit on the right hand side. Front right hand ring also now lit. As you can see, the gas system on the hob working absolutely fine. So turn them all off. Never shut down the glass lid until it is completely cool, because potentially that could smash the lid itself. Next up we're going to go to the oven, and I'll come back to the grill. All the oven doors open, so as you can see, all lit up and working as it should. Grill, very simple again to use. There we go. So again, your grill is lit as you'd expect. So that's the hob, etc., and oven and grill. Just going to start igniting up the fridge. I'll explain how it works in a moment, but power on for a moment. So if it doesn't ignite on gas, basically it'll flash the red light here. I'm just going to leave that to ignite up on gas so you can see it's igniting. Click a stop, so hopefully that has ignited nicely there. I'm just going to leave it on for a moment and I'll go back to the controls on the other side. So there's a few controls on here I didn't go through, as you saw before, when I've come past it before. You've got your lights, etc., awning light on the outside, internal lighting on the button just there, and your dimming lights for above the cabinets on that one just there. In the manual, it'll tell you a bit more about the settings in here that you've got. As you can see, it just takes you through the options there on the control panel by going up and down. So the first thing you do when you come into the caravan is go underneath the seat on the far side. You're going to make sure the drain down valve is in the shut position. I've already actually pre-filled the system, but that's actually your drain down valve, the yellow valve you see just there. When it's pointing up to the bottom of the seat, it'll actually drain the water system completely down. And we do advise for draining the system down that you have all the taps open in the central position. So what you'll see is in a moment is when I go over to the tap, so like I said, I've already filled it just to make sure everything's working as it should. But you make sure the valve is in the position it is now to fill the system. You'll then go over to each tap on the caravan, open it up on the hot side when the system is completely empty. As you see, water already coming out at the moment. I'm going to flick the pump on so it doesn't try and run without water in the system. So pump on, pumping the water through. As you can see, pressure will come back up again. That's the water coming through the system. Coming through into the bathroom, again I'm just going to show you that there's water coming through everywhere. So tap on, and on the shower itself, oh, I need to turn the tap on. Again, you'd have all these taps open to bleed the water system, but as you can see, water coming out of where it should do. On here itself, you've actually got a shut off, so if you want to leave the shower on, but you want to stop the water for a second, change your valve over on the handle, and it'll allow you to turn over the water supply. Once the water system's full and the water's coming out of all of the taps completely, you can actually go around and then shut the taps down. You don't need to bleed the cold side, because that'll just draw the water up from the tank as you go along. Once you've got the water system full, you can actually warm the water up on board the van. So what you first do is come over to the control panel above the door. You press the central button, and the first symbol you see here is the internal temperature of the caravan. So you'll press the button here. As you can see at the moment, I've got it set to 30, but as I spin the dial round to the left or right, you can see the temperature drop or increase. To set that temperature, press the middle button, and that'll be the temperature set, and that is the temperature the caravan will warm up to. If we come to the right again, you've got your water temperature, so you've got water temperature off, eco, which is around 30 degrees, hot, which is around 60, and boost if you are showering on board the van. So you'll set that to the relevant temperature you need to, and again, to set that, you just press the central button, and that will set the temperature of the water. The next one you see here is the power supply coming into the caravan, so again, we'll rotate to the right, press the button, and at the moment we're on an electric 1, so that's 1000 watts of electric coming into the caravan from the site you are on. Electric 2, 2000 watts of power from the site you're on. Mix 2 is gas, and a combination of gas and 2000 watts of power at the same time. Mix 1, 1000 watts and a combination of gas. And gas is solely gas on its own. To ignite the system on gas, you'd first get the gas bucket turned on. I would advise, before you try and ignite the heating system on gas, or the fridge for instance, which as you can see is still ignited on gas, do advise you bleed the gas system on the hob, because that is the last point on the gas system. So I'm just going to put it onto gas so you can see it ignites up on gas on there. So we hit the gas button, and I'm going to leave that to ignite, and then we'll come back to it in a moment. Come around to the right here, as you can see, you've got a fan symbol. So at the moment the fan's set on high. You've got eco or high for the fan system. Eco, it'll just blow the air around slightly slower, and high, it'll blow it around at a higher speed. I'm going to go to the fridge next. So with the fridge, you've got power on and off on the end, as you saw before, so you'll press to turn it on, and to turn it off you'll press and hold to turn the power back off. On the end here you've got 240 electric supply, so the fridge will work on the 240 mains, and you can control the temperature on gas or mains on this button on the right hand side. When you're connected to the car and you're towing down the road, you can actually press the 12 volt button here, which at the moment, as you can see, we're not connected to a car, but when we are, you'd be able to use the fridge as a cool box. We do advise pre-chilling the fridge on mains power or gas, and then put it onto the 12 volt, so it just keeps the temperature maintained rather than chilling the fridge completely. I'm going to put it back onto 240 for a moment. The bed itself lifts up from the front, as you can see, and then you've got your spare wheel underneath the bed also. Has got a nut in the centre there to hold it in place, but when the bed is down, to get it to its full length, you just need to pull the rail from the bottom here, pull it out, and the back part of the mattress that you see there will drop down into the gap at the back. To operate the toilet, which is the last thing I'm going to go through on the operation of the caravan, you've got the flush button just here on top. Then down the bottom you have your waste flap to allow the toilet waste into the cassette underneath the van. I hope this video has been of some help. Like I said, at this point I'm going to stop the video. I'm just going to go and grab one of my colleagues to help me demonstrate the motor mover and how that works. We haven't got the most amount of space on the outside of the van, but I wanted to be able to demonstrate that it's moving backwards and forwards and side to side as it should on the controller. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any problems, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll do all we can to help you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. So to engage the motor mover against the wheel, you've got your motor mover engagement bar inside the van. You put the bar on the side, and you'll pull the bar over and lock the mover into place. Once you've done that, you'll need to go around to the opposite side of the van. Take the key with you because it's got the motor mover power switch on it, and you also need the remote control. In the locker on the side of the van where your mains power lead goes in, as you've seen earlier in the video, you put the power switch in and turn the power switch 90 degrees. Once you have done that, you can turn on the controller for the motor mover itself. You press the two green buttons and the controller will load up, as you can see. Once the light goes solid on this one side, you'll see that the motor mover is ready to go. At that point you need to go around to the front of the van and release the handbrake. And then in theory, we should have forwards, backwards, turn, and back the other way, and then the same going backwards also, as you can see, holding the button there, and then the same the opposite way. When you finish with the motor mover, you'll press the 2 green buttons and it will turn the controller back off. You'll pull the handbrake back on. You'll turn the power off in the side locker. So you turn the key 90 degrees again and pull the key back out. And before you travel, obviously you lock your locker up on the side. Shut down any flaps. Then you come round to the other side where you engage the motor mover. You can do it from either side of the van. On the door side, I demonstrated this time, but it has got the same facility on the other side. You then pull the bar upwards and release the mover from the wheel. Thanks for watching.